Hey, this is Jim. I'm going to show you how to use the workshop today. We're going to do Module 3 of the Cloud and Compute Native, Cloud and Container Native development. I'll sign in order to get my user name. It's going to be user 1, and I will want to click on this one, the service mesh. And this is a great workshop. First of all, I recommend going in and seeing all the lab instructions on one page, not for use within the workshop today, but because this is a fantastic reference with lots of links to industry and Red Hat materials that'll help you in developing and implementing within a service mesh environment. So that's highly recommended. And then the way we use this environment is very easy to click on a block of text and paste that to where you need it. Here's all the information that I won't read to you on what the elements are within the workshop. Istio is a service mesh that's very popular. It's the basis of the service mesh. We add a lot of other things into it at Red Hat. Um, there's good explanations here. Uh, Here's how we get to our, what I'll call basically our um, integrated development environment. I'm going to clean this up a little bit, reduce the number of tabs I'm dealing with. And if we go in here, we will be introduced to this IDE. It's Eclipse Che based. We call it Code Ready Workspaces at Red Hat, and that's the product name. Go user one. And Eclipse Che as a backend based on VS Code source code from Microsoft. That's open source. Okay, so here we are. We can click on this environment that's available to us. Okay, either click on it right here to bring it up, but this is a good interface to know. If I click here, I have the option of running, stopping, and opening this environment. And if an environment isn't working properly, if something seems to clog it up, do a shift refresh during the workshop, or come over to here, find this interface, and stop and start it. So I'm going to run it and open it. Now I have a fairly slow internet connection here. Please notice that it's loading. It's a big application. It's JavaScript application, HTML5, and if you look at what's going on, it's actually pulling container images in. So this is a containerized IDE that runs within OpenShift itself, giving you full independence from whatever your computer might be or might be doing. It turns the experience into a completely web-based development environment. With that, I'll accelerate the startup. Okay, our environment's complete. We have a fly out here in order to get back to the Code Ready Workspaces commands, and here's the interface I showed you just before we started this up. Then there's a fly out here to show us the Explorer view, the source code. There's an introductory page here. I'm going to close this back up. And there's a toolbox here, and this allows us to do a couple of things, like start a new terminal or log into OpenShift, various other kinds of things as well. So that toolbox can be retracted, and so can the source code to give you more room. But I'm going to make the text a little bigger so it's more humane to watch in a video. And our next instruction here is basically to clone the code into this environment from GitHub. So I'll click there, go git clone right here. Then up at the top, I can paste in that link, hit enter. And I want it to be in the projects directory. That's important to us. So we have the fully qualified path that we want. And that's all we need. And now I can see the source code here on the left. Now we're not going to do a lot of source code stuff with this environment. It's more or less settings and rules. What we're doing is putting in YAML code or YAML files into these directories in order to apply them to the Kubernetes API infrastructure underneath OpenShift. Now that we've got that code in here, we need to make sure it's version 4.5 we're using, the 4.5 branch. And we were already on 4.5, but it's bad luck not to check it out just to make sure. And this matches our OpenShift version. That's where that designation comes from. Now we're basically done with prepping. I'll end this video and we'll be back on the next one to talk about distributed services.